Alright, let's talk about a story that sounds like a sci-fi thriller, but's 100% real. Imagine zooming into a satellite image of Gaza, and suddenly, boom, a bomb crater appears that never existed. Not because of a real explosion, but because someone hit generate on an AI tool. This isn't a hypothetical scenario. Google Earth almost made this possible before pulling the plug. And honestly, this isn't just about tech, it's about trust, power, and the terrifying ease with which reality can be faked. Let's unpack why this matters way more than most people realize. First off, let's address the elephant in the room. Why on earth would Google even consider letting users edit satellite images? I get it, cool features drive engagement. But satellite maps aren't Instagram filters. They're foundational tools for journalists, historians, even war crime investigators. When Google added an AI tool that could, say, drop a fake hospital explosion into a street view, they weren't just playing with pixels. They were playing with credibility. And here's the kicker, their fix. A digital watermark called SynthID. But as the article points out, if someone screenshots the image, zooms in, or films it with a phone, which, let's be real, everyone does, poof. The watermark vanishes. So much for verification. Now, let's geek out for a second on why this is wildly naive from Google. SynthID's whole premise is like putting a wet paint sign on a canvas and hoping no one wipes it off. In my opinion, Google's approach assumes bad actors are polite enough to preserve metadata. But have we met the internet? Misinformation isn't spread by people meticulously saving AI-generated tags. It's shared as grainy screenshots in conspiracy groups, re-uploaded on TikTok, or weaponized by governments to gaslight citizens. The researcher quoted in the article, nails it, fake images travel dirty. They're degraded, cropped, repurposed. And once that happens, SynthID's watermark. Useless. So why did Google think this was a sufficient safeguard? Were they just checking a PR box? But here's where it gets really juicy, the existential threat to trust itself. Let's say Google Earth's AI tool stayed live. Suddenly, every satellite image becomes suspect. Climate activists could be accused of faking deforestation. Governments could dismiss real atrocities as AI hoaxes. This isn't paranoia, it's déjà vu. You remember how deepfakes trained people to doubt all videos. Now imagine that skepticism scaled to geospatial data. And unlike a TikTok trend, the stakes here are life or death. Investigative journalists verifying war crimes, humanitarian groups tracking refugee movements, they rely on these images being untouchable. Google's tool risked turning their evidence into he said/she said chaos. And yet, I can't hate on the tech itself. AI-generated imagery is incredible. Architects use it to visualize cities. Historians reconstruct ancient ruins. Hell, I'd love to see a tool that lets me explore how climate change reshapes coastlines in real time. The problem isn't the innovation, it's the absence of guardrails. Google tried to have it both ways, unleash creative power while slapping a "Trust Us" sticker on it. But as the article notes, they've already hinted at bringing the feature back. Which makes me wonder, will they ever solve the verification dilemma, or are we doomed to a wild west of fake satellite porn? Let's zoom out, pun intended. This isn't just Google's misstep, it's a symptom of big tech's recurring blind spot. Every revolutionary tool, from social media to AI, gets rushed into the wild with utopian promises, then scrambles to fix the fallout. SynthID feels like another band-aid on a bullet wound. And while I'm glad Google paused this feature, I'm not holding my breath for a solution. Because the deeper issue isn't about technology. It's about human nature. We'll always exploit tools to distort reality, whether it's Photoshop in 2003 or Google Earth in 2026. So here's my challenge to Google: if you bring this back, don't just watermark the files. Build a system that educates users about verification, that partners with open-source intelligence experts, that treats trust as a feature, not an afterthought. Until then, maybe keep the digital crayons away from the history books.